So we got a lot of great things to talk about and not a lot of prep on this because we've been prepping for the conversations that you've just heard, not for like the perfect description of our group. Because honestly, we're really about enabling us to have the conversation as a network and really discussing the problems in front of us. But it's important we pause for a minute and talk about what it is we're building here. Philip, can I count on you to just sort of to advance this on slides? Awesome. So, and I guess you can see it behind me, which is perfect. So we'll go to the first slide here and just kind of take you into this. So the first thing we got to do is talk about who we are. So I'm Grant Ecker. I lead architecture at Ecolab, and with the help of these gentlemen sitting up here with me, we created this amazing thing together. Junior.
Hi guys, my name is Junior Brandt. I'm the Chief Architect and CEO at Kuehn.
Hey everyone, Brian Chambers. I have the most professional picture on LinkedIn
by
of
far.
Anybody in here. That is indeed me. So I'm the chief architect at Chick-fil-A. We're a restaurant company mostly in the US and also here in the UK now. So
awesome.
Hi, I'm Randy Potter and work for Capgemini, and myself, and if Jan is still here, I think she stepped out, and Dapo, who was here earlier. There's 18 of us that are master architects within Capgemini. So I'm one of those. I'm work with some amazing people. Those 18 in particular, I consider myself lucky to be there. And I will say that I saw Brian. I knew it was Brian in the hotel, even though I saw him from the back about 20, 30 yards away because he was wearing that hat.
Oh, was it?
Nice.
I could tell yeah. So
was he wearing the shades
happy
too?
to be here.
I might have
Awesome.
brought those shades. Maybe I'll put them on for you later.
So Brian came up with this statement, and I think it really speaks to what we are: a network for the world's architecture leaders to learn, share, and drive outcomes. That is what we are here to do. And ladies and gentlemen, we're doing it. We are this way. Thank you, sir. I'm like not following my own little camera rules here. All right, hit the next slide up for us. Oh, yep, come on, little Randy. We'll get in camera here. All right, so hit the next one if you don't mind. So that just zoomed into London for no reason. That's where we are. So we're here to meet our peers, to widen perspectives, share best practices, grow as leaders, develop talent, drive outcomes. We are 657 chief architect practice leaders strong. That's amazing, right? 70 of them are here. It's crazy. And we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization, fully volunteer, here to drive outcomes and purpose. And it's really just about the value we can create together, because you cannot learn what we need to learn by reading a book or reading an article. You need to be talking to people and continuously iterating and sharpening your knife. And iron sharpens iron. And that's what this room is. It's a room full of iron. We're no cost, we're no selling, we're not delegated. Why are we not delegated? Well, the important thing I've learned is if people need to see their peers or they stop coming. And there's certain it's important. If you're not seeing the peers, you go, okay, that's great. I'll send my guy who talks to that guy, and they're going to make some good solutions together. So we have to have a group for us as the leaders so we can bring in others. And I'll explain that in a minute when we get into the digital expert network. There's a place for everyone, but you have to have some structure. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It breaks. We're vendor neutral, and we try to respect the Chapman House rules. Let's move to the next one. All right, so the benefits. What is the point of coming together? Anyone want to speak to this? Maybe share your thoughts? Junior?
Yeah, this is it, right? This is exactly what that first line's all about. The in-person conversations, the perspectives that's generated. I mean, just in the last 24 hours, I think my mind has been changed on topics that I thought I was entirely comfortable with. I'm sure that's happened with every single person in the room. I said it earlier as well, the collective brain power in this room and across our network is absolutely phenomenal. And it's a network that can be leveraged. I leverage this network day to day.
He did that.
We use this day in and day out in our consultancy business when we are engaging with customers. We've got an awkward question that we don't have a good answer to. I'll be on the phone to one of our network members saying, have you seen this before? Or just what's your thoughts on it? You know, as a practice leader and as an organizational leader, is driving the ability to share across the network. It's phenomenal.
You can filter. You can say, I need to find a peer in this industry, in this city, focused on data and AI. Here's 5 people you can call.
I'll just add, who are you doing this with? You're doing it with the people you work with every day, but who else? And I think you have an opportunity in this room to identify people where it's like you've got their cell number in your phone and you can text them or call them when you need them, like Junior mentioned. But this is a place to find people to do this with, and the work will always be there. There's always more to do. What you're going to remember, I don't think, is necessarily the work. It's going to be the who you did it with. So I think it's just an amazing opportunity to create that circle of people around you.
Randy, anything you might add?
Just, I said it earlier on the talent piece that we did. This is how it's not only for us, but it's it's for the next generation behind us and making sure that they're going to make it as well.
Love that. Another thing that I'm really passionate about is aggregating our moments. We need a voice for the architecture profession. We need one. It's incredibly important because people don't think of us in that strategy room. We've talked about it a lot today. Part of that is to show our thought leadership out loud, to be at events, to be building that conversation, to be the sought after voice in these thought leadership moments. So that can translate into the boardrooms of our organizations. When we use our own amplification source of this network to celebrate each other, we're building our voice. And that's one of the things I'm really proud of that we're doing together. Let's hit the next one. So this is an example. We started going to these C-Vision events that I really enjoy. And we got, I'd go and have a great time, and I'd have a couple other CAN members. I'd meet people that should be CAN members at these things. And after a while, I'm talking to the promoters, and I'm like, we got a lot of synergy here. You need to fill the stage with thought leaders. I can't organize an event like London every month in every city. It's not realistic, and we don't have enough people in every city. But if they're going across the globe, we can just take a couple of those chairs. We can create a keynote for just a panel, and we do that at Connected Worker. We do that at American CIO. We create tracks, right? In American CIO, we actually had a whole track for chief architects. We did that at CypherCon, at SecretCon, which is coming up here in Minnesota. So these are things that I think really help. And then when we get enough of us together, well, why don't we get dinner together, right? So we got Eraser that brought us together at the SAP EA Learning Forum with Paul. And then over here, we actually were with Linda Finley's TCBAF event and celebrated afterwards with Neil Sample, who helped us have a facility to learn together as business architects. So this is really cool. And you can kind of see we get an outcome of outreach, we get an outcome of connection, we get an outcome of gravity, and then we get to connect. And we have amazing sponsors that help us do this at no cost and join us in that conversation in a non-selling mode. And we can afford to do it. It's not too expensive because no one's earning a paycheck from this. Let's hit the next one. So why spend time here? Maybe one of you folks would be willing to share a thought. I know we've shared a couple things, but maybe there's a bullet on here we hadn't touched yet.
I think one of them is the last one, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
Is, there's a lot of churn, in our space, and having a network like this can be really helpful. So that's one.
It is.
I think just from a career perspective, and before I go over there, I think I can count 6 people that I've worked with in 3 organizations, just in the room, people that's grown through that piece. So yes, absolutely, as Randy said, that understanding your positioning within the industry and what that represents directly translates to your career path, that career development. It's phenomenally powerful.
I'll say that I don't think I would be able to sit on stage to chair conferences if it wasn't for the thought leadership that I gain in this room. I learn from the people in this room, and then I'm able to curate that into a conversation that I know has some thoughts. Yeah, Mike.
The bottom one?
The bottom one, the accelerate job search.
So that's important. CIOs used to turn about once every 5 years
Yeah.
in the industry. Now it's once every 4, right? And so that has direct effect, and I think your point is right on the money.
So Mike Carroll just mentioned that the job churn is going faster, so we need to have a network. We can't be looking for that network when we're looking. We need to have that network, so when we're looking, it's a lot easier. Let's hit the next one if we could. So this is where we're taking it into the broader organization. So we have to be undelegated in our chief architect network. But these little red dots here, those are the chief architects in the chief architect network, bringing the rest of our companies together. And what we're going to try to do as part of our conversation is to find a few topics that we want to expand, that we think is important, whether it's getting to multi-cloud or agent to agent or taking a reference architecture for AI into operating models. And we're going to bring our people together that are solving those problems in our companies. And we're going to create a conversation that brings that external insight inside our organizations beyond just us, but without diluting what the chief architect network is. So this is where we're going to go next. And this is how we're going to involve anyone who might be listening. So hit the next one. I think I'm going to ask the question of what problems do you need external collaboration on? And if you're not the chief architect in your organization, why don't you bug them to join? Because they can then play that red dot role and bring this organization to bear for your company and start to help us facilitate the industry conversation we need to address the pace of innovation we're seeing in the market. I think we're right about at time, so we've got to be getting close to the end. Hit the next one if you don't mind. The AV gremlins are brutal. So keeping it simple, right? Find peers in knowledge, connect at events, speak on stage, amplify architecture. That's what we're going to do. And that's what we're doing. So appreciate you taking a minute to learn a little bit about what we're all about. With this, we're going to step into something that is pretty damn fun. We're going to move into our awards ceremony. So let's take a minute and just get organized for that. If you could advance us one more click there. So this is it. And I'm going to share, I'd love actually our board to join me as well. And also, as we get into this process.
Hey, Grant,
Yeah.
Can I interrupt you on one thing?
Yeah.
I just saw somebody leave. I want to let you know, you need to turn in this green badge on the other side of the gates or we get fined $100 per badge. So when we're all done,
Yeah.
he's going to be the guard. He's going to be out there picking up badges. But I'm just letting you know in case you leave before that, you need to drop it off at the front desk.
How much did we budget for that?
0.
Maybe not enough.
Yeah, maybe not enough. All right, so let's step into this amazing conversation. So we have got our top 5, the folks that, and how did this happen? How did we get the top 5? Well, actually, maybe Philip, you could share a few words on this, if you don't mind.
So, yes, the top 5 European architecture leaders. It's such a wonderful initiative that Kuehn put together. This will be the first European leader that has been named. So, yeah, really, really exciting. And, yeah, for a bit of information about how this works. So, about 6 months or a few months before today, the word was put out about the European architecture leader. And there will be one for the Dallas event. Sorry, is it Atlanta, the next event?
TBD, I think.
TBD. Okay. For Americas later this year. So you quite simply, you can nominate someone within the Kuehn network to be Architecture Leader of the Year. That is then collated and the top 5 are created. And then Kuehn members are able to vote on their winner. So yes, if you're interested more on that, you can find out more about the next one on the Kuehn website and yeah, get nominating for the next event. We will now be just getting things set up and ready for this part of the day.
Actually, I think he's going to put it up here because the cameras.
I don't know where he's going.
We got a little room transformation.
It's like the Oscars. We need to make it right.
Have this, right?
The red carpet is coming out. No expense spared. It's
There you go. That's good. That looks great.
You need to move the camera?
What's that? What's that? I'll be right back. I'll be ready to jump into it.
There's one final thing. It'll be worth the wait, I promise you.
He's going to go get the Bitcoins.
Here we go. I told you, worth the wait.
We gotta celebrate, guys. This is cool. All right, so I think we're now officially ready to get started with our top 5 awards. So, who will win the first ever Architecture Leader of the Year Awards for Europe 2026? We have 5 awesome nominees. Chloe Gray, Director of Enterprise Architecture and Business Architecture at the University of Manchester. Duncan Robson, Senior Director, Analyst in EA. We got to hear him speak today. Oliver Cronk, Founder of Cronk Advisory. Surinder Lall, Head of Cyber Governance, Risk and Compliance at DMG. And Whynde Kuehn, Founder and Managing Director at S2E Transformation. Let's give them a round of applause. The slides are a little funny, as you've been seeing today. The first person I want to recognize is Surinder. If you could come up and join us. So I've had the privilege of getting to know Surinder through the American CIO, and I'll invite my board to step up here with me. Oh, I don't know. It may have happened. And it's been absolutely amazing to watch his thought leadership and his representation of architecture leadership in the in our industry. And I also have, he's not a bad speaker either, if I'm honest. So I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I think you're making a big impact in our industry, and your peers have noticed it as well. So congratulations to you. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you, Surinder. Yeah, hang out if you'd like. All right, next up, I'd like to welcome Chloe Gray to join us. So Chloe has done some pretty amazing things in our industry. You just published a book with BCS. You're now helping to, we talk about how important it is developing the next generation of architects. And you're doing that now at the University of Manchester and representing our profession. I forgot to ask Surinder to say a few words. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, come on up. It's fine. It's fine. No, stay. I actually wanted him to stay upstage anyway. So.
All right, guys. Someone once said to me, "You're in the wrong room if you're the smartest person in it," and there's definitely no danger of that today. There's an awful lot of brain power in this room. So, any accolade, any recognition is a privilege, especially from peers. So I'm grateful and long may we continue as a profession. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay up here. We'll get a group picture, Surinder, in a moment. So sorry for the out of order, but I'll fix a mistake if I see it. Chloe, please share your words.
Well, thank you, and thank you very much for this acknowledgement. It's not an easy job, is it, being an enterprise or a business architect? But what's really important is that human side, that what I've learned throughout my whole career, working with people. And that's the whole point we're here. Well, how can we enable people? And not just with tech, but with process, with data, with everything else. And so it's a real privilege to be in this profession and a real privilege to be able to write about it and pass on the word as I was speaking with the fellow members of this network. So thank you very much.
Amazing. Well, thank you for all you've done. Chloe, come up for a picture. We got to grab one of those. Thank you. Amazing. I'll get it right. Up next, I'd like to welcome Duncan to join us. So we had the privilege of learning from Duncan last year as he joined us in London, and we got him before Gartner, just so you know.
That is true.
That's it. And I think he's absolutely representing us incredibly well, and I'm really proud of what you've accomplished and the voice you've created in industry. And I'm curious, does anyone else have some things they may want to share as well? I feel like I'm hogging all the fun, and I get to say all the things.
You're good. Doing a good job.
All right. Well,
You have the jacket.
I do have the jacket.
Yeah.
I do have the jacket. Well, share a few words with us, Duncan.
Yeah. Just to echo Chloe, actually, one of the things we had a meeting at the British Computer Society a couple of years ago. And we all sat there and we said, actually, this can be quite a lonely job as a chief architect. You know, you're between a rock and a hard place, between trying to get things done. So I'm really appreciative of this community and having all the peers together. I think it's brilliant. I'm really excited how the profession is changing, how we're moving from technology, looking at more things like empathy and how we actually work with people. So very exciting to see how we progress.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, we got to do a picture. Oh, I'll get the hang of it, I promise. Very good. All right, I've got to get a little thing here ready. So we're getting to the final rounds here. This is getting a little serious. Okay, let me just hide around the corner. There we are. All right, I'd like to welcome Oliver Cronk to join us on stage. Come on up, Oliver. So Oliver has impressed me for the moment I met him on the train about a decade ago. He has been the thought leader known for your sustainability impact. You have been heavily involved in multiple thought leadership forums, and I feel like you're really representing us incredibly well. And it's not about what Grant thinks. Again, remember, this is the community's voice. I'm just holding the microphone for us. The community voted astoundingly for you, and I just want you to know that the people wrote me and said, I'm voting for Ollie because he deserves this. I'm voting for Ollie because he's making a difference. And it was incredibly visible how much support you have. So as you step out and start your own thing, I just want you to know that this room is very proud to count you among us. What's that? Say a few words, my friend.
I feel like I've said quite a lot today already, but yeah, again, echoing what others have said, like this community is unparalleled really in terms of like the peer kind of conversations you can have. And yeah, no, I thank you everyone for everyone's support. Like, it's pretty scary times to be setting something up at the moment because obviously the world's a pretty uncertain place, but the support I've had from the network's been fantastic. So thank you everyone.
Congratulations, Ollie. One person's name has not been called. Can anyone guess who that might be? And we have a little extra something for that situation. It looks like this. So Whynde Kuehn, join us. I don't think many of us are shocked. I'm kind of at a loss of words. You absolutely are a champion for us. And I'm so grateful that you have championed this community and that you've championed our profession. And you'll go to Dubai, you'll go anywhere around the world, and you find time to do it between climbing mountains. You're helping our profession climb these hills. So I just find it absolutely fitting that you would be the first ever overall winner. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you all. I think about that mosaic. I think it's at Gatwick Airport of the Queen. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah? Like that feels like what this is. And thank you, but I'm just one tile of all of us that are making up this mission that we're doing. We are rising a tide together, and we are at the forefront of shaping the future. So just a thank you, and here's to us. Here's to us, right? Yeah.
Let's get a picture with Whynde and then invite all the winners up to get a shot. right, could I invite our top 5 up to get a picture with the board? We're all good.
Yeah, y'all can come over here too. Come on, Duncan. Yeah, come on, you're the star of the show. Get
There we are. That's right. Congratulations, guys. Amazing. Red carpet. That came on the plane too. Well, what a fitting way to close our first ever conversation. Actually, Whynde, I can't have you go away just yet because we need you to close out the session with Philip.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I get the honor of doing the closing remarks for today's amazing event. If any of you have ever joined my closing remarks at a Switch On event before, you'll know that I like to keep them quite short and sweet. Main reason for this is you've all taken on board a lot of information over the course of today. I know that I certainly have. And for everyone here, I'm sure you're looking forward to the after event refreshments. So firstly, just a few thank yous really. A huge thank you to everyone that's joined in on this live stream. To everyone in the room for everything that you do for the architecture community. We're not architects, we organise events and we like to see ourselves as community builders. It's an honour for us to be here today and to work alongside the Chief Architect Network across our events across the globe. So yeah, a huge thank you to all of you, to Whynde, and huge congratulations to you. And thank you for everything that you do for the community and for the industry as well. But I think the biggest thanks today really needs to go to Cronk.
Yes.
Because what he does to make this happen is really, it goes above and beyond what anyone needs to do for an industry. So
It's amazing.
a huge, huge thank you. He had 50 minutes sleep last night because he was busy putting together all of these slides after DJing and setting up all of last night. So yeah, it's amazing what you do. And we're happy to support you in any way that we possibly can.
Well, just a thanks to everybody here and online because we make the discipline real. And as I said, we're shaping the future, and just a huge thank you for getting the CAN voice out around the world, because we can do that individually in our organizations and at a greater level globally as well. So here's to making a difference together and more events like this. And as others have said, we are shaping the next generation, and not just the one, but behind us and behind that, but also the kids. So let's even make this the most exciting job to be in as well for kids.
There we are. I completely agree. All right. Well, thank you and congratulations. I'll give you a few. Oh, I got to put on the other thing. No big deal. Not bad though. First day, first time at this. So we did a pretty good show for just learning how this works. So join us. Actually, if you have a thought on who should be the leader in Atlanta, you can fill that in right now. Public nominations are open for the Architect Leader of the Year 26 Americas. So that's open public period. Anyone, you don't have to be a member of CAN to nominate. You just pick an architecture leader who inspires you. And then we'll take our top 5 and they'll be voted on by the community of the CAN to ultimately be honored in Atlanta. And I'm very excited about that. So take a minute and go there. It's tinyurl.com/EA Leader 2026. And thank you, Chief Architect Network. Join us in Atlanta this September. And with that, we are adjourned. Oh, wait. Oh,
Just
wait,
one
there's one
final
more
thing.
One more thing.
One final picture of me. So the Switch On Exchange Americas is taking place next Thursday, purely virtual. We have 10 CAN members joining as speakers. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. Grant will be moderating one of the panel discussions with 3 CAN members as well. So go to the website. You can register for free, saving yourself some money with the code CANLONDON. So please do so, and we'll see you all online next Thursday.
What an amazing thing. It's a gift. Anyone who tuned in gets to watch the show for free. That's it, folks. Thank you for being here with us. Our first ever in-person Switch On. Thank you, Philip, and for your organization partnering with us from our very beginning and inception. We're going to go have some fun this evening, and we're going to activate. So let's hear it for a great day one.